Hi again guys, so another GranTurismo 6 tuning video for you today. This time for a super sports car that you don't see around that much on GT6, the Ferrari Scuderia. So you want your racing soft tyres as always. As far as the suspension, I've equalised the ride height to 80 front and back. As far as the spring rate, rounded it off to 850 on the front, 1275 on the back. Dampers and anti-roll to 4. Relatively high camber I've got on this car, but that's only because I can use it as a track car as well. You don't actually have to have it that high. For the toe angle, neutral as always, so it's not dragging its rear wheels. You want your auto setting as high as possible, and I've got a final drive of 4.4, which is relatively high compared to what I'd usually have. For the diff, you want your low initial torque to reduce wheel spin, high acceleration and low braking. All the power upgrades obviously, and I would recommend NOS if you can afford it. Weight loss also, and unfortunately you can't adjust the downforce on this car, much the same as with the FXX, which is a shame because it would allow you to get slightly quicker top speed, but you know, they don't let you, so you have to work with what you've got. I've got traction control turned off as usual, and yeah, so I find that cars like the Scuderia, the standard F430 as well, kind of like the Maserati GranTurismo also, and the Gallardo, maybe even the LFA to be honest, those kind of almost supercars, kind of super sports cars, never seem to be that quick on GranTurismo. They tend to be overshadowed by the ultra supercars like the SLR and the Huayra and the TZ3 and the Diablo and that kind of thing, which is a shame really, because you know, they're nice cars in their own right, but they tend to not get used much because they're not that quick, or not compared to the other cars. But they make pretty good track cars, and they're not slow, as you can see. So the Scuderia, interestingly, is slightly slower than the standard F430 for top speed on here. I'm not sure about acceleration. I think the main reason why it's slightly slower is because of, as I mentioned before, the unadjustable downforce. But it's still a reasonably quick car. It has a cruising speed of around 250. I think it's 249 last time I checked. And with slipstream or with NOS, it should do 270, maybe 280, maybe a little more. So it is a pretty quick car. But yeah, not as quick as it should be, really. I mean, 250 is quicker than it should be, but you know what I mean. In GranTurismo terms, it's not as quick as it should be. But yeah, so I hope this tune setup helps, and as always, thanks for watching.